Hello guys, and welcome back to the third episode of the Cullip Hour / Review Show podcast. And today I'm reviewing the most controversial Oasis album as we continue the Oasis album series. It is Be Here Now, released on the 21st of August 1997, and yet again it was produced by Owen Morris and Noel Gallagher, and yet again on Creation Records. It was recorded between November 1996 and April 1997, and was recorded at Abbey Road, Air Studios and Ridge Farm, and another one I can't remember. There was 4 singles released from this album, and its first day of release sold over 424,000 copies and became the best-selling album of 1997 in the UK. And yeah, it's not a bad album. It's definitely not their greatest album. I've seen so many reviews of people trying to back this album, saying, "Oh, it's the best album of all time." I really don't think it's the best album of all best album of all time or the best Oasis album. It's definitely not either of the two. Definitely not. Be Here Now is definitely still their third best album. Perhaps Don't Believe the Truth, which was released in 2005, is close to Be Here Now, but I overly prefer Be Here Now to Don't Believe the Truth. It's still prime Oasis, which, as I said in the first episode, prime Oasis I consider to be from 1994 all the way to 1998 to the Master Plan. And yeah, at the time it became the biggest selling album, or the quickest selling album ever, which is amazing, really. And there was fun little fact, it was top of the UK vinyl chart in 2016, 19 years later after its initial release, and I have it right here on my desk. It was, and when you open up the vinyl, you get the Be Here Now clock on both of the double vinyls, and when you open it up, Liam lying on the floor, and then you get a picture of the guitar stand from the Video Music Awards of MTV in 1996. Yeah, and there are 12 songs on this album, and some of them are good, some of them I don't like so much. That's probably why it's not as well liked. People say this is the worst Oasis album, but there is definitely worse Oasis albums than this. There's some of the songs on here, one of them in particular, which I'll get onto, is absolutely awful. I just don't like it at all. But yeah, there's still some classic Oasis songs on here. As I'd say, it's probably one of the most decisive albums of the 90s and in the Oasis fandom. Yeah, so there was 2 number 1 songs on the album, and one got to number 2. So there was a few songs. One was kept back by an Elton John song, which I will get on to later. But generally, the 4 singles released on this album, which were Do You Know What I Mean, Stand By Me, Don't Go Away, and All Around the World. Was it really good songs? One of them controversial to say the least, but we will get on to those. But when this album was initially released, it got generally positive reviews. Was better than What's the Story in Morning Glory, to be in fact. But as time has progressed, many critics have shunned on this album for being too long, as it's 71 minutes and 33 seconds, so over an hour of music. And generally, another critique for this album is that the songs are very long, especially All Around the World, which is over 9 minutes long, and then add the reprise at the end, it's 11 minutes, so that's fun. And then, do you know what I mean, is 7.5 minutes, yeah, about over 7 minutes. But the only song I think benefits from being long on this. I'm trying to think. Is there a song that actually benefits? Fading Out's quite beneficial, but yeah. Be Here Now is a good song as well. But we will get on to the songs in a minute. Going into the background of this album, Noel Gallagher has come out and said that he just didn't want he doesn't like this album at all. He says he likes Juno, do you know what I mean, which I'll get on to. And then he just doesn't like the rest of the song, saying the lyrics are, bland, the songs are not great. He said, they said they should have just left after Nebworth. I don't personally agree with that. I still don't think this is a bad album, but it's definitely not their best. People can have their opinions and be here now. It might be their favourite album for different reasons, as music is very decisive, but this is definitely not my favourite Oasis album. As I've said, it is definitely maybe, as most people's is. But yeah, as I keep saying, there's good and bad songs on this album, which we'll come on to, but obviously Liam likes to be on the positive side. He says he quite enjoys this album, to be fair. Oh, was it the other day on Twitter, there was the Be Here Now party, so I think Bonehead, he tweeted out a few weeks ago saying, as time goes on, this album gets better, and you never know, in a few years we might go, he's made it, Bonehead, but as time has gone on, he likes it, and perhaps when I get older myself, which sounds very depressing, I might appreciate this album a little bit more, since I listen to it now. It's 2020, perhaps in the next 20 years this could be one of my favourite albums I've ever listened to, but I doubt that. It will always be definitely maybe. But yeah, Noel doesn't likes it, Liam likes it, Noel does not, and yeah, as I've said, it's very divisive. Excuse my language. Divisive between the fandom of Oasis. Yeah, it's still in my top 3. It's prime Oasis, but yeah, it's not. I still find it hard. To talk about? Should it have been made, or should they took a break? I think they should have took a break. After Nebworth, because they rushed this album, cocaine reasons, but yeah, a lot of drugs, and studio moving in this album. They moved from Abbey Road to Ayr to Ridge Farm. They just moved everywhere. They got kicked out of Abbey Road for being too loud, and Noel said in an interview, even in the studio, this album is excruciatingly loud, and I can back that up because I play it loud on my vinyl player. And especially for the first song, it is excruciatingly loud. And they said the mix on this album is just mad in itself, especially on Do You Know What I Mean, which I'll come to. The mix on there's the other mix, which I do love, with the 2016 mix by Noel Gallagher. I love that. But I also do like the original of Do You Know What I Mean. But right at the end, you don't need that excruciating pain in your ears, and it's not a nice sound to have when you're trying to listen to some music. But anyway, I've talked about the background of the album and the Gallagher's initial thoughts and Boneheads, and now we get on to the track list. So the first song on the album is Do You Know What I Mean, and it was the first single released before the album came out. Yeah, and it's a really good song. It's an Oasis classic. Which is a brilliant way to start off the album. It's definitely one of my favourite Oasis openers, which there's a lot of Oasis openers I do like, was from their albums. This might be the top, it might be my second, to be in fact. Rock and Roll Style? That's definitely my number 1 Oasis opener. Then Do You Know What I Mean is fantastic. The chorus is very catchy. It's like All My People Right Here, Right Now. Do You Know What I Mean? Very, very good. And I just love this song. I've reviewed this song on my Instagram, saying it's very, very, very catchy. It describes the movement of life. Step off the train, all alone at dawn, back into the hole where I was born. Obviously, it's like a coming home of age story. You're going back to the place you once belonged. It's like the sun in the sky never raised an eye to me. So about not being noticed in the place you were once, and you don't recognise it, pretty much. And rallying the people, all my people here right now? Do you know what I mean? It's a great rally song, but this song is very controversial for reasons, as I've talked about before. The ending is excruciating. just all the sounds at the end. It's like, it's like all the if you want to listen to the original mix, all I'm gonna say, headphone wearers, please take notice, because you're going. And if you want to play this really loud, especially me on my vinyl player, I'm not surprised it destroys my Windows, to be fair, because it is so loud. But thankfully we have the 2016 mix, which Noel Gallagher kindly released, and I like both versions, but the 2016 mix I do love a lot. Yeah, and at the end there's no excruciating sounds and there's no bloody helicopters right at the start. It takes about a minute to get into the song, because then you've got birds and helicopters going off right at the start of the album. And another thing about the production in this album is way over the top. It's ridiculous at times, especially on Do You Know What I Mean, with Be Here Now, quite loud, but I don't have really a problem with Be Here Now as I do with Do You Know What I Mean. But yeah, was it overall a great song? Oh, and Noel Gallagher, forgot to mention this, but Noel Gallagher said when they were presenting this song to the press, when this album was about to come out, was it people started their stopwatches, and then was people just always wondering, is the song even going to start? That's what I was wondering when I first listened to this song. But overall, once you get into it, it's a great song, great Oasis classic, and definitely one of my favourite Oasis songs of all time, and one of my favourite openers. But I do have to say, the 2016 mix of this song is definitely better than the original. Now we go into the second song of the album, My Big Mouth. This is very divisive between the fans, and this was performed at Nebworth, and I do like this when they performed at Nebworth, which is on Spotify. I do listen to it sometimes. But yeah, was another really loud song, especially the guitar right at the start and the drums both mixed together. Also, I was about to say, do you know what I mean? There's over 100 guitar mixes on that album, and then with a full orchestra in the background, do you know what I mean? It's absolutely manic. But Noel Gallagher on that mix extracted with that and got it down to a nice basic sound so you can hear the bass. And if you're a bass lover, there's not much bass to this album, so be warned, bass players. But moving on to My Big Mouth, going back to it, My Big Mouth, I do love it. It's very divisive again, as this album is, which is the common theme. My Big Mouth, love it. It was a good second song to be on the album. Definitely deserves to be on the album. It's a very rock song. So My Big Mouth and My Big Name describes the Gallaghers and Oasis pretty much. It's just I do like this song very much, but then, as I've said, it is very loud when you're playing it or listen to it on full headphones. I would love to be there and mix with this. Originally, Noel Gallagher was going to do an entire remix of this album. I wish he did, because then perhaps My Big Mouth could be listened to by people. But I can listen to My Big Mouth anyway, because it's good. The production, as I've said, is over the top, but I think the common theme of this album is divisiveness, and then a big message and a big kick in the face to people, which could be a positive to take out of this album, because it is very loud. But yeah, with My Big Mouth overall, not the greatest song in the world, but I love it. It's a great rock song by Oasis, and obviously Noel Gallagher said the lyrics are not great with this. The lyrics on this song are brilliant, which everybody knows. It's in the No One Saying Nothing. It was a sound so very loud that no one could hear. It was basically kicking you in the face. My Big Mouth and My Big Name. Yes, I do like this song very much, as you can hear. Then moving on to the third song, this is where we start to get some not positive reviews from me, especially, and not a lot of people like this song, and it is very Beatles, which is a very common theme and a negative people take from Oasis. The next song is Magic Pie. Even from the title, this does not sound like a good song. I like the chorus, you see I got my magic pie, which is a very weird chorus, but I do like it. With Think of Me, I was that passing by. I'm there and now I'm gone. It starts with very slow, this song, and then eventually builds, become a very big song. But I really don't like it. I can't find anything positive to say except the chorus. I do like the chorus. And then right at the start of the song, was it Noel Gallagher's voice changes with effects with the voice. It's just, well, I like experimental music, but this is very, very, very experimental, and it's very different from Oasis. I do like the acoustic version when he performs this live. Yeah, when the songs on this album perform live are good, I have to say that. That's because they're not in the studio and not mixed with cocaine. But yeah, but I still find Magic Pie hard to talk about. It's not a good song in the slightest, as it's divisive. Again, the only positive I can find is the chorus. It's not great by any means, but it's not the worst song on the album. It's definitely listenable, but yeah, overall, not great. Now we move on to side 2 for the vinyl lovers, and then the 4th song on this album is Stand By Me, which got to number 2 in the charts and got kept back by Elton John's Candle in the Wind remix for Princess Diana when she unfortunately died. But yeah, Stand By Me, standout songs on this album, brilliant song. This benefits the length. This song is long, but it definitely benefits. People say you could get rid of the middle of the song and then make it shorter, but I think having all of this song is definitely the positives. So, what's the matter with you? Sing me something new. Don't you know the cold and wind and rain don't know? I love that part. It only seems to come and go away. I love that lyric. It's fantastic. But then people's criticism is the chorus. It's like, Stand By Me, nobody knows the way it's gonna be. Not the greatest chorus in the world when you think about Oasis. You got Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, and all these type of songs. But Stand By Me is definitely one of their classics, and it's in their top 5 in the Spotify playlist when you click on their profile. So it's definitely a fan favourite, and I definitely love it. I love Stand By Me. I can never skip this song as I do with sometimes I skip My Big Mouth and Magic Pie, but Stand By Me, I can never miss this song. It's quite unfortunate that it didn't get to number 1, because it's definitely a brilliant Oasis song, and obviously I do like Elton John as well. But Candle in the Wind, Just Beat, it was probably the best. I think it's the best-selling single in UK history. Candle in the Wind remix of 1997. But yes, Stand By Me. A lot of people love this song. I love it. I love it when it's performed live by Liam and Noel. Does he still perform it? I'm just trying to think. Oh yeah, he did it on the acoustic sessions, didn't he, Liam? I don't. And then they did it in. Where did they do it? It's on the deluxe edition. I forgot where they did it acoustically, but I do like this song acoustically as well. It's fantastic. And yeah, overall, definitely one of my favourite songs on the album, and a standout track. When people listen to Oasis, you'll definitely stumble onto this song. Second song, the 5th song on this album is generally the most this is my opinion, but this is generally the most underrated Oasis song of all time. It's I Hope, I Think, I Know. Absolutely staggering. Love this song. I haven't seen any critique from well, obviously the critics, but a lot of people love this song, and I do as well, and a lot of people agree that this is the most underrated Oasis song maybe ever. Liam can't perform this song as it's a very, very high vocal song, and obviously his voice has changed, which is dear to Liam, because I absolutely love his voice from 1994 all the way to 2000. I wish he could. He said he tried to perform this song, but it's just so high, and you can definitely hear during this song. And generally, this is I think this is the shortest song on the album, except the All Around the World reprise, but we won't mention that. But I Hope, I Think, I Know, I absolutely love it. It's the shortest song on the album, as I've said. I wish this is the song I wish it could continue to go on longer. It's absolutely amazing. I love this song. As we beg and steal or borrow. Life is a miss and this. I hope I think I know. I love this lyric as well. I love a lot of lyrics and choruses, and this is definitely one of them. So you're trying hard to put me in my place. That is why I've got to keep running. The future's mine, and it's your disgrace. Because in the end, with your life means nothing. That's the second part of the song, but I do love that lyric as well. So it's definitely brilliant. That's what it's about. But it's about a relationship, a toxic relationship. And said, "You'll never forget my name." That's very standout. As a lot of people say, "Never forget my name." But yeah, definitely this is in my top 5 of my favourite songs in this album. And I'll say again, it's probably the most underrated Oasis song. Noel, you need to appreciate this song. Now we go into the worst song on the album, The Girl in the Dirty Shirt. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely tripe. It's rubbish. I can't say anything positive on this song. It's probably the worst Oasis song of all time, probably along with Digsy's Dinner, but I prefer I can actually listen to Digsy's Dinner over this tripe. It's rubbish. I can't say anything positive about The Girl in the Dirty Shirt. Starting the song, and the chorus is boring. Maybe Come Dancing With Me. Boring, and it's slow. It's boring, it's long. Crap, pretty much. Don't like this song. Ugh. Move on. Don't like this song. Then we moved into another underrated Oasis track, which is Fading Out. Love it. It's very psychedelic. And then the next album, which I will review, which is Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. It's very psychedelic and experimental. And this could have been on the album. But this is generally another underrated song, Fading Out. It's absolutely amazing. It's very loud again and very long. You could definitely, did I say? I think it's just long enough, Fading Out. I personally really like this song, but there's definitely better songs than Fading Out, which are underrated. But yeah, I do like Fading Out. So get on the roller coaster, fast in time today. You gotta be bad enough to be the brave. Good lyric. And then you're fading out. Very good. Get on the Helter Skelter, another reference to you know who. And this, especially the critique on this album, there's literally so many Beatle references, especially in Do You Know What I Mean? Or it's Fading Out. Or it's a Be Here Now. All around the world, which is very Beatles, as I've said before on another review. But I love the Beatles as well. I have to review those. Remember, guys, if you another thing, if you want to see another album, once I've completed this series of Oasis, if you want to see Beatles, because I've been listening a lot to Sgt. Pepper's lately and Rubber Soul. I love those 2 albums. If you want me to review those or other albums, please put a comment and make sure to visit my Twitter, which is jcullip02, and then my Instagram is Jacob_Cullip__, and tell me what to review. So back on to Fading Out. Good song, not great, but it's definitely underrated, and a lot of people tend to skip the song. I don't skip the song, I personally love it. But then we go into Don't Go Away, which is a rock ballad. I'm really divisive on this. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It's a bit boring. If you want a rock ballad by Oasis, just listen to Slide Away. Slide Away is 100,000 times better than this song. It's a bit boring, so don't go away. Say what you say. Say that you'll stay forever and a day. Most people might find that alright. It's a bit meh, I have to say. I sound such a millennial there. Sounds a bit meh. But no, it's really, you'll probably notice, I talk a lot more about the songs and definitely maybe in What's the Story in Morning Glory. As I've said, I find it really hard to talk about this album. It's Neanderthal. It's boring sometimes. This is an album I don't always turn on. Sometimes I just put one of my favourite songs on the album on and then I just don't listen to it. But it depends on certain days. It's not, as I've said, it's not the worst album in history, and it's still the third best Oasis album in my opinion. But yeah, Don't Go Away, this was released as, the single only in Japan, but they performed it live in America. I've got on the TV show, probably the American viewers can tell me, or I'll have to research it later. But it's pretty boring. Better rock ballads by Oasis and better songs on this album. So overall, Don't Go Away. Depends on certain days to listen to this song, but overall, not great. Number 9, Be Here Now. Love it. They performed it, were live in the Be Here Now tour, which Noel actually loved the Be Here Now tour, to be fair. But yeah, overall, I love this song. It's absolutely fantastic. As I've said, it's not that long, to be fair. Is it long? No, it's not that long. Was it very good at the start? People might find it's excruciatingly loud, as all of this album is, even on the rock ballad Don't Go Away. It's very loud. But yeah, with Be Here Now, it's so underrated. It's a great opener to their concerts, which they did at the GMX in Manchester in 1997. But yeah, I will love Be Here Now. Wash Your Face in the Morning Sun. Flash Your Pan in the song that I'm singing. Love that. People might find it weird, the lyrics to this song. Be my magic carpet ride, fly me down to capital city in the sun. I love it. It sounds like Aladdin, but I love it. Even the most curious lyrics I love, to be honest, on this album. There is some curious lyrics, especially in Be Here Now. I love the chorus, kicking up a stone from the day that I was born, sing a song for me, one from Let It Be. Oh, what a surprise, there's a reference. Another quote I absolutely love. What quote was it? A lyric from the song? Was it? What was it? I don't have it written down with me, but I just tried to remember it. What was it? Get a grip of yourself inside. There you go. Love that. Get a grip of yourself inside, everyone. Love it. I'll love it if we beat them. Love it. Kevin Keegan. You didn't win the title, did you? Anyway, moving on. From Be Here Now, one of my favourite songs on the album. And yeah, definitely a listenable song for people. And yet again, excruciatingly loud. Then we move on to the most divisive song on this album. It's 9 minutes long, All Around the World, which was it the third single released on this album? And it got to number 1. I think it's the longest single to get to number 1, over 9 minutes long. The first 5 minutes, this song is brilliant. As I've said before, it's very Beatles. Just all around the world, you gotta spread the word, tell them what you heard, you're gonna make a better day. Brilliant message to people. I've heard a critique on this song saying, oh yeah, but it doesn't represent Oasis, and like, they're supposed to be the bad boys of rock and roll. But they bring, as I've said, they bring positive music. Think about the messages they deliver. I'm gonna get angry now. But do you know what I mean? Especially all my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean? How is that not positive for you? Which My Big Mouth is definitely an in-your-face song. Stand By Me, another great message. I Hope I Think I Know, another great message. Be Here Now, another great message. Then All Around the World, another great message, depending if you like this song or not. I do like this song. Might just get into the top 5, but I can only listen to 5 minutes of the song, because the other, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes are just long. You could tell that this tried to be the Champagne Supernova, which is my favourite song on What's the Story in Morning Glory, which was in the episode. Remember, if you haven't listened to the other 2 episodes, they will be on my channel, and I will link them at the end of the video, and I'll put them in the description if you haven't listened to those. But yeah, you can definitely, with Champagne Supernova, going back to What's the Story in Morning Glory, it doesn't try to be big. It literally just, it builds and builds and becomes this song on its own. But from the start of this song, All Around the World, it just tries to be big and the Champagne Supernova of Be Here Now. Does it succeed to be Champagne Supernova? No, it's nowhere near. All Around the World is nowhere comparable to Champagne Supernova in my opinion, but it's a good song. I think if you weren't looking at the track list and just stumbled upon this album, you would think this is the last song on this album. Then it leads into overall, All Around the World is a good song, but 5 minutes-ish, 4 minutes, 4 minute and 5 minutes is surely short enough for this song, in my opinion. The other minutes just not beneficial for me. But overall, good song. Oasis classic. For me, the video is a classic, and excuse me. But yeah, it's hard to talk about Wizard this song, but the video is definitely a classic, and the Wizard remix, when they cut down the song for the music video, they should have just used that on the album, if I'm honest, because then it was still long, but they cut it down significantly. Yeah, then that leads on to It's Getting Better Man. As I've said, if you just didn't look at the track list, you would think it's over at All Around the World, but then it goes to It's Getting Better Man. Love this song. Loud again. Loud rocker by Oasis. I'm surprised not many people actually love this song. This was performed at Nebworth, and it was brilliant at Nebworth. I love this song, It's Getting Better Man, along with My Big Mouth. Two big rockers on this album, which two songs I definitely love. It's Getting Better Man. It's a brilliant message again. Hey, what was actually said to me? You told me one day I'd be free. When the stars are shining bright, it's getting better, man. Brilliant, love it. There's another critique on this song. It's long, especially after the 9 minutes of All Around the World. You don't want a 7-minute song right after a 9-minute song. And It's Getting Better Man, there's about, I think I counted, there's about 23 We're Getting Better Mans right at the end. You don't need those. It just keeps going. It's like, we're getting better, man, we're getting better, man. And I'm like, oh, I love this song, but then you kind of ruined it for me. Yeah, they should just cut down. I want this album to be remixed, so I can listen to all the album, or just put some of the B-sides, which there's some brilliant B-sides, which I will talk about, to put on this album. But overall, It's Getting Better Man. I keep saying it's getting better, man. Definitely is during this lockdown. But yeah, overall, great song. One of my favourites on the album. But yeah, the only overall yeah, brilliant. I keep stumbling over myself. But the ending has just ruined it for me, to be honest. And then the last song on this album is All Around the World Reprise. You don't need this. It makes the song 11 minutes. It's not a fact. You should have just ended. Perhaps you should have put It's Getting Better Man, then All Around the World right at the end. Then perhaps it might have been better. But there's no need for this right at the end. Don't like it. I don't think anyone likes the reprise right at the end. Definitely tries to be Beatle, especially on the album Magical Mystery Tour. This sounds very similar to Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles, but it just makes the album a bit overwhelming and underwhelming a little bit. Right at the end, you're listening to the same song again. Pretty boring. Sounds like an orchestra. But yeah. Oh, is it not a bad song, but not great? And was not a bad song. It's a reprise. Well, yeah, it's literally not needed right at the end. And yep, that concludes all the songs, and I will now put them into a list. Now we go on to the rankings of the song, and we're doing this from 11, and we're putting the two All Around the Worlds together to make 11 songs. So here we go. Number 11, it's The Girl in the Dirty Shirt. No explanation about this. It is absolutely rubbish. Number 10, we got Magic Pie. Not a bad song, but not my favourite song on this album. Definitely the second worst. Number 9, controversial, we got Don't Go Away. Some people love this song. Some people hate this song. And as I've said, it's not my favourite, and it depends on certain days that I listen to Don't Go Away, and usually those days don't come, so I don't listen to this song. So number 8, then we move on to number 8. This was hard, but I just put Fading Out. I do like this song very much, but not my favourite at the end of the day. But as I've said, it's a very underrated Oasis track, and it's not rubbish in the slightest. Number 7, we got All Around the World, just made it over Fading Out. I definitely prefer All Around the World to Fading Out, because of the first 5 minutes, and then the rest of the song is not good. But yeah, then we move on to number 6. We got My Big Mouth, just outside the top 5 for me, because I think there's 5 other songs better than My Big Mouth. It's definitely better than all the other songs. Maybe a bit controversial for All Around the World, but My Big Mouth, my 6th favourite song. Then we go on to It's Getting Better Man at number 5, definite. I've put them in initials because I want to write them all out. But number 5 we got It's Getting Better Man. Number 5 for me. There's 4 other songs better than it, but definitely in my top 5 in this album. Definitely. Maybe people might not agree because of the length of the song, and It's Getting Better Man mentioned about 23 times right at the end. But other than that, great song. Number 4, Stand By Me. People might put this higher in number 1 or number 2 spot, but I like Stand By Me a lot, which is why it's in my number 4 spot, funny enough. But there's 3 other songs in my opinion that are better than this. Number 3, the title track, Be Here Now, love it. Can't hate this song at all. Brilliant from start to finish, and just a good enough length for this album. Number 2, we got Do You Know What I Mean, which was the first song on this album and the first single, and it's number 2 for me. Just missing out on the number 1 spot. It's just the end and the length for me. It's excruciating, but if it was the 2016 mix, perhaps it might be number 1. But yeah, moving on to number 1, we have I Hope, I Think, I Know. Very controversial, but it's my favourite song on this album, and I can't skip it, and the song and the length and the lyrics on this album are just powerful, they're brilliant, and I love it. And yeah, that sums up the track list, and now we move on to the B-sides. Now we move on to the B-sides of Be Here Now, and there is some good B-sides. So this is the list. We've got Stay Young, The Fame, Flashbacks, I Got the Fever, My Sister Lover, and Going Nowhere. And these are the ones I've got up. Tell me guys if there is more. These are the ones I've just found. But starting off with Stay Young. I love Stay Young. This should have been on the album. It was a B-side on Do You Know What I Mean. You love it from start to finish. People don't like the length of this song. Again, another mention, but it's not even loud. This song is absolutely brilliant. I love it. And it's another positive message. Hey, stay young, because we're invincible. We know just what we are. Just shows the youthfulness of the song. And another great message to the young people. I don't think I've listened to The Fame. I might have to give that a listen later. Flashbacks is good, which was on All Around the World. Brilliant song. Love it. I Got the Fever, another good song. My Sister Lover, really good. Going Nowhere, which is on the master plan, as well as Stay Young. Yeah, Going Nowhere, which was written in 1990, it says in the master plan when you open up on the vinyl, which, if you guys want me to review the master plan, I'm not planning to. I might include that as a bonus episode right at the end of the series. But if you guys want me to review it, remember to put it down in the comments. But yeah, Going Nowhere, I love it. It was a B-side on... Was it a B-side on Stand By Me? Yeah, it was a B-side on Stand By Me. And it's a really, 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 really good song. Sung by Noel Gallagher. Stay Young is sung by Liam and Noel on the backing vocals mostly. But yeah, all the B-sides. I haven't heard The Fame. Have I heard The Fame? I can't remember it as much. But they're not the best B-sides. As well, obviously the B-sides on What's Stormy Morning Glory and Definitely Maybe are definitely better B-sides compared to Be Here Now. But a few of the songs should... I think Going Nowhere should have been on Be Here Now. I think that would have just fitted. And Stay Young, obviously Absolutely love Stay Young. This should have been on the album. The girl with the dirty shirt, get out of here. Put Stay Young, and then put Don't Go Away. I'll definitely get rid of Don't Go Away. Put Going Nowhere on there. So much better. Put Going Nowhere. And yeah, remember, guys, if you want to listen to all these songs, remember to listen to them. Well, by any. I've got it on vinyl here. Remember, I won't judge you to tell me what you listen to. I've got it on vinyl. If you listen to CDs, if you listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, I don't care. Tell me what you guys listen to this on. And remember to listen to the master plan and listen to the deluxe edition of Be Here Now, as you can hear the B-sides and live recordings of the songs. And that will be the end of today's podcast. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode, and you could sometimes hear me getting angry over this album that I'm holding in my hands. I haven't talked about the cover, have I? The cover, love it, has the album date right here, 21st of August, which was a Thursday in 1997, and you got a clock. It's very peculiar. It's definitely one of Oasis's memorable album covers. Was that Noel looking at the globe in the background? Blimey. Was that Bonehead holding a key? Jesus. Rolls Royce in a swimming pool. It's mad. It's mad, this album cover. And especially during the live tours, they literally had the album cover right on the stage during the Be Here Now tour. And then, funny story, before we end, was it when they were discussing because they were the biggest band in the world at that time, they were wondering what should they put on the stage because, production. And they said, let's have a telephone box pointing on the album cover. There's literally no telephone box. Where did they get the idea of a telephone box on this album? Obviously, they were high at the time. But where is the telephone box? You can't find a bloody telephone box on the album cover. So I'm touching the vinyl here. There's literally no telephone box. And that was a fun little fact for you guys. So remember, that is the end. I keep stumbling. But remember, guys, to like this video and share it with people, and make sure to subscribe to the Jacob Cullip YouTube channel and tell me what you thought of this review, and tell me if you like this album, if you don't, and remember to put your tier list of the songs you love, or just tell me what song you love from Be Here Now. And next week I will be reviewing another controversial Oasis album, which was released in 2000, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. Remember, guys, you need to be yourself and you can't be no one else, and have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.